both her and Michelle Pfeiffer give really great performances.
Oh no, man! The second half is all Jennifer Lawrence performance is all going.
Yeah, I mean,
she sounds like a sheep with her little scream.
Martin, again, you over exaggerating. You got it wrong.
No, I'm not.
Let's talk about our first movie here tonight. Oh, got a lot of people mad out there. I think this is dividing people more than Trump. It is the Trump of cinema. Some people are saying, oh, this movie gets it. And some people are saying this movie is crude, vulgar, and just downright trash. Some people even called it pornography. A lot of people and other people out there saying, man, you just don't understand. You don't know about art. You don't know about expression. But let me go and take this out of here. My phone is sliding around. But I'm going to reserve my opinion until we get into the middle of the review. And I don't know what Martin feels about this. But let's start out by saying, okay, first of all, the movie is Mother. You know that small M? That exclamation point at the end. And this is from the filmmaker Darren Aronofsky. Darren, there he is right there looking like a rich-ass baron or something.
Yeah, what's with the scarf, man?
What's with that creep-ass mustache?
Howard Hughes cosplay.
Yeah. I'm going to take your land and tie you onto a railroad track. This guy right here is no stranger to controversy and no stranger to making depressing material. He's the one that brought sadness to the world with such films as Requiem for a Dream and Black Swan. And one of the ultimate depressing movies out there, The Wrestler.
That's right. I forget that's
with
his.
Mickey Rourke. That's right. That is his, man. And he's also done some films where he said, nobody gets me but me. I did that. I put The Fountain out there with Hugh Jackman. The critics said, what the fuck is wrong with him? They don't understand me.
Are you kidding? The critics love that movie.
No, they don't. Not even the fans love it. Yeah, it has a cult following, but that's one of his artsy films out there, which people say, you know what, I don't get it and don't give a fuck to get it. And then trivialize me, will you? You pretentious fuck. But also, he's tackled the Bible with his own vision of Noah. The Noah and the Ark story. Got biblical on your ass. And with this movie, some people say
Noah's jacked.
He really, yeah.
I wish that flood would come over here.
Come on, water. Come on, bro.
I got this stab. That's the other guy.
Come at me, floods. I don't need no fucking ark. My peoples, bro. But I'm doing it for the animals, you motherfucker. But with this movie in particular, right here, Mother, they're saying that he's putting everything that he's done, the whole history of his works, and all of his themes in one movie. And when I said that this movie was actually going out there and dividing people, I can say, for one, it might be because of the marketing. I'm going to show you the trailer because we don't have that many clips out there, but a lot of people, I'm going to say this, I'm kind of with you already. A lot of people going to be mad before they even see the motion picture because of what they're trying to do out there. I get where you're coming from. I'm not saying that reflects on my opinion about the movie, but I will tell you why I understand you right after we watch the trailer for Mother.
He's a stranger. We're just going to let him sleep in our house. Did you know he had a wife?
That motherfucker going crazy.
Goddamn bongos.
He had a wife. Came to our door.
Snap.
Yeah, daddy, oh, yeah.
Yeah, where's my espresso?
Oh, man.
It's not.
Boy, I love that rat playing that violin.
I love how that music is from every horror and sci-fi movie from the 70s.
Yeah. I know.
All in one.
Or every movie that had a spider in it.
and the beatnik poetry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little Planet of the Apes thrown in there.
Yeah. Motherfucker falling down the stairs. Now, let me just say something right here. If you watch the movie like I have, it's probably going to sound and look very familiar to you. Just to tell you some of the themes that they have in here. You know, a man creates something that's enjoyed by many over the world. His fans show up at his private home. He continuously lets these people into his home, and more of them, more and more that come to his door, he lets them in all the time. And as much as the confusion of his young wife, the confusion and frustration of his young wife. And I looked at her like, holy shit, that's me.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is he describing himself for the movie?
No, it was very, very uncomfortable. I was really happy that my wife was not watching
all
this.
I kept thinking is like, man, I hope he doesn't take her to see this.
Oh, no. Oh, hell no. In last night...
Baby, this is you. This will not be me.
She comes to play the bongos.
It's you.
No, because last night I came home and I said, man, this movie I saw was crazy. And I described it to her. And she says, you do know that it's us. I don't need to see this. I live this shit. She looking at me just like that. That's you, motherfucker. But this movie, man, I would tell you this. If you don't like art house movies, don't see this, because this truly is the love it or hate it movie of the year. I've said this before and I'll say it again. People either truly love this or they hate this film. And I'm going to just come out and say that most people will hate this movie. Now, they're talking about how this movie, they're saying, this movie, you hear critics talking about this movie will challenge you. This movie will make you think, make you ponder. And it's like, nah, this movie is going to do a lot of things to piss you off, because the movie does a lot of fucked up things in it. The movie just, as it goes on and on, there are scenes in there where it's not going to make you think. You're going to be like, wow, this really ruined my day, and why did I watch this? And I get
making me laugh.
This will offend people, and I'm.
You think so?
I'm just.
Is that different than any other Darren Aronofsky movie?
This one in particular, I think it will. Now, I told you early in the review, I understand where you're coming from if you hate this, regardless of how I feel about it, because this movie, in my opinion, does not belong in the mainstream. The studio knows that this does not belong in the mainstream. And I will even say that the studio themselves are fucking with you to get your money. The beginning of this movie, you see them happy stars pass over that Paramount Mountain right there, and they even playing music. Ding, 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 ding. They ain't telling you at all that you're about to see some dark, fucked up shit. You think you're going to see a Jennifer Lawrence movie about family hanging out with handsome Javier Bardem, and they having a little trouble, but it's going to be all right. I mean, how bad can it get? Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know the shit that you were about to see. For some people, they'll be like, I didn't know mainstream movies could get this dark. The hell is this studio thinking? And I got your back. I'm on your side, because the studio is marketing this as a mainstream movie and grabbing your money and talking about, I got you, motherfucker, because there's two things in the movie that happens or is featured in the film, which they know will appeal to mainstream audiences. Now, there's a lot of people out there who are going to go see this because of Jennifer Lawrence. Now, the thing with Jennifer Lawrence is that Jennifer Lawrence, look, she's had her share of offbeat dramas and indie feeling films. You know, there was Joy, which, even though it was mainstream and didn't do that well, was still sort of a smaller movie for her. And then we have Silver Playbook Lining. Silver Linings Play, but I know I can't read it because it's in a foreign language. Because I'm looking at this like, oh, shit, I didn't even know that.
But you are aware of which movie it is.
Yes, I am. Well, the movie Mixicoplex. That poster's having a stroke right now. But those are smaller movies. She's done her smaller films.
And American Hustle's a smaller film.
And American Hustle's one of her smaller movies too. So she's done her share of smaller movies.
I think where she started with Winter's Bone.
No, she sure did. But she very quickly blew up into the mainstream. And, she remains in the mainstream because of movies, of course, like The Hunger Games and the X-Men franchise. But here's the deal with Jennifer Lawrence in here. Even though I don't think that she's a huge box office draw, but her name continues to be out there in the mainstream. And I got to tell and she remains appealing to a lot of young women out there.
Sure.
So all you young women who love Jennifer Lawrence, or at least like her, and you're drawn to the latest Jennifer Lawrence motion picture. Now, if you consume Jennifer Lawrence through magazines like Vogue and People magazine, stay away from this. Especially if you just had a baby or you want a baby. I'll just say that right now, because you're going to walk out and you're going to be like, Jesus Christ, this ruined my life. Because, I mean, there's just some images in here that will burn into you and will stay with you up until parenthood. I have a very sensitive spot when it comes to children and movement and how they're treated. And I can tell you right now, if I was even remotely irritated by that, there are people who are going to be fuming when they walk out of this. Now, the other thing that they do with this movie that they're trying to sit up there and trick people from the mainstream into seeing it is they're pulling, I'll just say this, for all those people who are still waiting for that It, not Pennywise, but that other It, the one that's in It Comes at Night. You ain't seen it.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
It Comes at Night, where it's like, what comes at night? We don't know.
We don't know.
Does something have to come at night? Yeah, when you put it like that, yes, it kind of does. Yeah, that is one thing. Like with the way this is shot, this trailer is put together like a horror movie. We kept saying Rosemary's Baby and all these things. Could not have been more wrong.
Yeah, no, you know something. For all y'all talking about it comes at night and you still waiting. The studio's like, no, you came at night because you just got fucked. we got your money. But all y'all talking about, man, shit, I'm still waiting for the horror in that horror movie that they sold me. And you never got it.
Keep on waiting, Roger.
Keep on waiting. Because Martin, I think you saw the same thing I did, in that this movie is pitching itself as a horror film. And there's a lot of images in there. They're trying to put in the trailer, in the marketing. They're putting in all these creepy images, all that scary music.
Yeah.
All that
blood coming from the floor.
Blood everywhere.
Why is this happening?
The
light bulb just exploded.
Yeah.
People coming over. They know Javier Bardem. He seems to know them, but he's not telling her. What's he hiding?
Yeah. You're looking at this movie and you're like, damn, this is so hard if even the carpet is getting this period. You know, this thing. You see these images in this film and you're thinking, oh man, I can't wait to see this horror movie right here. It is not a horror film. All right. And they take some of even the movie tries to play around with elements of horror, and those are the things that they put in the trailer. Like this one scene, like some of the people that you have in here, which you probably don't even notice in the trailer, like what's his name, Domhnall
Gleeson?
Gleeson.
It's Donald. That's the way you pronounce it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the movie. Almost you don't even recognize him.
Yeah, barely recognize it.
You barely recognize him, but there's one scene where Jennifer Lawrence is left alone in her home, and somebody broke in, glasses on the floor, and they're creeping around. They even set it up like it's a serial killer movie.
Like the Joker's about to show up.
Oh my God, shit, I can't look. What is he going to do? No, go ahead, open your eyes, go ahead and look at the screen, because what happens next? Not a goddamn thing. I mean, no spoiler. I ain't gonna tell you what happens, but I will tell you not a goddamn thing happens.
Yeah, they set up a lot of tension for that. To have you like, oh, what's gonna happen? Don't worry about it.
So they basically pulled the same thing they did in The Strangers. Like, I'm behind you, but now I'm gone.
Oh my!
You know what?
Okay.
I don't want to do any spoilers, but you want to know what happens? I'll tell you. For those of you who don't want to know, just tune out, but just for a second. But I will let you know, because some people ain't gonna even bother with this. You don't know what happens when this guy's creeping up behind her, and she looks back around. He just says, "Oh, you have a good night," and he walks out the room. Yes. This is not a horror movie. Now, again, close your ears.
Depending on who you are.
Okay. In what way do you think?
If you are dating or married to an artist, this would be a horror movie too.
Oh, so my wife is terrified then.
Yeah. No, we're joking, but I was like, yeah, she's the last person who needs to see this.
If you really want to know what this movie is, tune out for a moment. And those who do, just stick around. It'll take a second. Okay, this movie is a combination of two things. Rosemary's Baby in the Bible. And it combines those two things, in my opinion.
Wow, I didn't see it as those two things at all.
You know what?
But I'm curious.
Okay.
As to how you got there.
Well, again, Martin. Okay, be back. Martin says he's curious to see how I got to that comparison. For those who did stick around listening,
and I'm not doubting you. I'm just curious.
Okay, here's the thing. Now that we got all the haters out the way, now that all the people who are going to look at this and complain about the movie because I didn't get what I wanted, or this movie's weird. I hated this. I didn't get it. I don't understand it. For the right audience, man, this is a retelling of a very, very famous story, and for the right audience, it's even enjoyable when you don't know what's happening in here. I think it's a movie where, and that's why I don't want to say anything. It does mean something. It is, and if you see the clues that are dropped, and as the movie starts to unfold, you actually see the thing that we're talking about here. And and I think, and that's why I don't want to say anything, because as you watch it, it plays out before you even know anything. It plays out in such an absurdist way that it's almost like a really dark Dr. Seuss book, or a children's book that's been brought to a very creepy and surreal adult level, because all these people keep coming to the house. All these people keep showing up, and things go from calm to chaotic. And Jennifer Lawrence is just through the whole movie just like, what the fuck, man? Where are these people coming from?
Why are they trying to sell us thnees? What's going on here?
Yeah. And through the whole movie, she's like, what the fuck is happening? And everybody's having fun, everybody's partying, everybody's having a good time. Ain't nobody listening to her at all. And you start to wonder, what really is happening here? And it didn't take me long, as the movie went on, it didn't take me long to start picking up the clues that they were dropping and saying, oh, this is a telling of this very popular story right here. And I really enjoyed that. Now, I can't say, but there are clues throughout this whole thing that are parallel with that property that I'm talking about.
Man, I wish you could say what it was.
If you don't see that one particular thing, that theme going through the whole movie, you're going to be like, the fuck is this? Man, why, it's one of these weird movies where they just doing anything and I don't know what's happening. This is just one of these things that is just being pretentious and artsy. Another Darren Aronofsky thing that he's pulling out of his ass. Like I said, I noticed it and I really enjoyed the rest of the movie for that.
Based on this marketing that made it like a horror movie or a thriller, I spent a good chunk of the first half of it looking at it that way and just trying to figure it out, where it was and what it was doing, where it was going. And why was this that nobody was listening to her? And her husband was just kind of blowing her off at every turn. And these people, especially once Michelle Pfeiffer comes in, how they got pushier and pushier. Mm-hmm. And I was just back and forth, just in a puzzle. And I went, hold on. It's all symbolism and allegory. And then I was like, okay, so as I was interpreting it, I was like, okay, he's a poet. And this is as if someone who dated an artist like this, someone in your wife's position, once it was all over, angrily wrote a poem about her experience.
Yeah, okay. And see, I get that. And again, if you don't see what I'm seeing and what Martin didn't see, and I hate having to keep saying that, I'm saying this because I understand if people hate this, because there are certain things that the movie does so well. And if you don't feel like you got a payoff, then you're going to be pissed. And I understand that. In the movie, they have these moments where you want to know these people's motives because they bring you in so much. Michelle Pfeiffer in the movie, by the way, these people don't have names. It's wife, it's he, it's her, it's stranger. And Michelle Pfeiffer comes in as one of these strangers. And she has some really, Martin, to see, and I don't know if Martin liked this enough, but Martin, we like to squirm in movies. The more we sit up there twitching and doing this shit, probably the more we enjoying it. People are like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Let me just enjoy this shit, man.
All right, Gator.
Yeah. I gotta dance just for you. But wait till the movie's over. But with her in the film, she shows up and she has some really great squirmy moments, and it's because of the performance that she gives. Because she plays a woman. She plays, as you saw in the trailer, she plays the wife of Ed Harris. And when she walks in, Ed Harris is kind of cool. Like, he lays back. He's very grateful. But she comes in and she has no boundaries, physical or with her conversation.
Why don't you want kids?
Excuse me?
Oh, you do want them.
This bitch is crazy. And the reason why I say that is because Jennifer Lawrence in the movie is us. We have that confusing look on our faces as we watch her. And at first, with her performance, I was like, she's just going to look like this through the whole film. You don't know the subtleties that she does throughout her confusion. That is us. And the whole time when she's doing that, there are moments where she burst out with frustration, yelling at everybody. It's a performance that I think both her and Michelle Pfeiffer give really great performances.
Oh no, man! The second half is all Jennifer Lawrence performance is all going.
Yeah, I mean,
she sounds like a sheep with her little scream.
Martin. Again, you over exaggerating. You got it wrong.
No, I'm not.
No, you are. No, you are, because it's more like it's like, and the whole place trembles like she's fucking.
Oh, you're talking about the very end.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm talking about leading up to that.
I see different. She's screaming and the whole place just trembles like she's goddamn Professor
like
X or some shit. But she's and I like Michelle Pfeiffer, even though she looks like she makes coats out of puppies. I really enjoyed her performance.
I mean, it's a good performance because I sat there tense, just wanting to throw out of my house from the second floor.
Yeah, no, it's a great performance because she comes in and she act like she just running shit.
Yeah,
telling her what she needs to do with her house. People are telling her to get out, and she's like, "Yeah, fuck off." Slams the door in people's faces. But what I can't understand, even with the critics out there and a lot of people, I don't really get how people do. And it's not me reading into it. It's not me. It's there. It's actually there, and it didn't take long for me to see it. I don't understand how a lot of people are saying, "But I didn't get it," or "I didn't see these things," or "I think that this might be what it is." It's not. I mean, it's right there for people. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some moments in the movie where even there's just small bits in there where I don't understand what's happening. Like we were talking about the carpet with the period going on. I didn't really get that. I didn't understand what that was. Also, there's some scenes in there where she keeps mixing this yellow powder and drinking it. And all these things have to do with it whenever things get too stressed out, or she has this dark connection with the house. She'll touch a wall and then it'll go inside of her body and show something happening. Those two things I didn't really understand. But I mean,
I don't understand.
But yeah, and it's and again, that's where I'll be laughed at for this, and people say, there I go just reading the shit. And
man, why you got your defenses up already?
Well, no, my defenses are up because a lot of people are gonna be treated that way. I even saw on Facebook today, people who hadn't seen the movie. One guy in particular, he was just kind of like fucking metaphors, fucking pretentious shit, and people are like, "Have you seen the movie?" "No, but I heard about it." And it's just like, and people are already being accused of being a pretentious art snob if you like this film. We'll talk afterwards because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. If anybody wants to know, I'll do a spoiler at the end of the show to tell you what it is.
I feel like even talking with a big group of the critics outside of it when we came out, just listen to people go back and forth, and they were all like, "Yeah, I don't know. I got to digest it. I think I like it, but I'm not sure. I didn't quite get it." I'm like, man, if you say, "I didn't get it, but I think I like it," it's only because Aronofsky's name is on it, and you're afraid to, you can't see yourself going past that hurdle going like, "Oh, I don't like one of his movies." I think that's holding you back.
I got you.
He's the king of the hipsters right now.
Yeah, it's just one of those like, well, did you like the new Aronofsky? Of course I did. Wait. I mean, yes, of course I did, because that's what you're supposed to say. I won't fall into it. I do appreciate some things about it enough for me to say, okay, I'll say rental because of what could be garnered from it. For me, it was more of like this can kiss my ass.
See, and I knew that, because you don't, it's just not your thing, and I'm not even arguing with it because it's just not your thing. If you don't see that at the beginning, or you don't get a movie, or if a movie leaves you to like do a little bit of work, I know you don't like that.
Okay, now see, I didn't insult you.
I'm not insulting you.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not.
The movie leaves you to do you got to do a little bit of work. I know you.
You even told me at one time. It's like, well, I don't feel like I need to take this movie with me. You told me that one time.
Told you what?
You told me, well, I don't feel like I need to walk out of the theater and take this movie with me. Show me the movie, entertain me. When we talking about that movie, the
Enemy?
that Enemy, yeah. You know, which I don't even think
Let's not go back to that.
we ain't even going.
Jesus.
No, we ain't even going there. No, we ain't even going there. Jennifer Lawrence like, shit, let me get my popcorn.
Are the giant spiders in there?
It might be.
I wish.
Nah, you know something?
Martin,
See,
we didn't see the ending of Cars 3 coming. Just remember that. when that twist happened, you and I were both like, what?
I know, you might like this. Shit. If Cars 3 that's going like, damn, that's deep. Vroom, vroom.
What a twist.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my coworkers.
So emotional. Lightning McQueen actually said something this time. Nah, we joking. We didn't go that deep with it, but no.
But yeah, I've been hearing about how divisive the movie is. I see that. It's, they say like, man, you're gonna love it or hate it. I don't do either.
What kind of a bullshit is kind of skirting on like, well, I really dislike this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't enjoy it. Well, I was intrigued for up to a point where I realized like, oh, okay, now I see. Now the veil has been dropped. Okay.
I don't think that veil was dropped for you though. And again, not to insult you, but that's still more, man. There's still a bit of curtain to pull back right there.
You want to impress me with how much you've read the Bible more than me?
No, not at all. I'm the last one to do that, but I tell you what, I saw this shit though,
Okay.
And that's see, y'all gonna hate me because everybody's gonna be like, oh, Mr. fucking know-it-all right here. Oh, he knows everybody. It really just blows my mind how I'm usually the dumb one with this shit. I don't get things, this is about a week later, I'm like, oh, but watching this, I got it. And it's in plain sight. It is, and for nothing.
You ain't get it, you dumbass. Yeah. That's out here.
Don't forget lazy.
But I'm
lazy. I don't want to do the work.
But I'm trying to be as nice as I can. I'm really trying.
You trying to keep the veil up. Maybe if you weren't asleep, checking your watch.
My special ed friend right here, I don't understand. I'm joking.
But even in the early part when I was intrigued about what is this going on,
I think that there are things that can be looked at and respected in this movie. All this takes place in this mansion that's out in the middle of nowhere. Not even any roads, anything lead to it, and it's a tight space to play with as a cinematographer. It's a tight place to play with as an art director. And somehow, with the trajectory of this film, where it goes from calm to chaos, they do a lot. They do a lot with this. I mean, a lot of it is one shot. They're going through so many different rooms, and those rooms change with the mood of the film. And as I said, it goes from calm to actually at the end of the movie practically being a war film.
Okay.
And yeah, it's in this small confined space. And I thought the cinematography was another star in this movie. I mean, the way that they're just like guiding you, it's almost, it does feel like a Saving Private Ryan or a war type setting where you're just going through all these things. And there are moments where it is like that. There's a lot of death and stuff happening.
Yeah, it sounds like when you're saying they use the house as an extra character, it kind of sounds like when we saw Don't Breathe, and they had like a whole bunch of cinematography, like really nice things like that in it. So that's kind of the case here. Okay. It's
no different from what people do with original retellings of Shakespeare, taking and putting in modern times or other settings. It's not something that's speaking through metaphors. It is a clear retelling of a story. And hey, I mean, why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing at Martin.
But Martin, he doesn't see what I'm talking about. You can shake your head all you want to, but it is there, and you can sit there and say it's bullshit, but it is there. And that's the fact. It's not like my interpretation. And when this is
Wait, how you know it's a fact?
Because once you see it, it's clear, man. There are certain things that are happening, and again, I can't tell you without you knowing, because there are certain things that you can pinpoint, and when I tell you that, you see it. But it's not me. It's not interpretation. This right here is just a visual retelling of a unique visual retelling of a certain story, the way this director sees it, and I like that. And again, no insult to people who don't, because it is for a particular audience. But I don't want to hear people say that it's just pointless, because it's not. So I'm gonna give it a full price. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. And what can I tell you except that it is for a particular audience. If you didn't take my word at the beginning of this review where I said stay away if any of these things don't appeal to you or they make you upset, then that's on you, because when I say stay away, stay away. You know, as much as I like this movie, I gotta tell people, get the fuck out. Don't go see it.
You got me intrigued, man. I kind of want to check this out.
But I mean, again, I don't want you to come back and be like, oh, that shitty movie, because I'm not telling people to see it.
You know? Tends to like stuff.
Well,
like that.
But you know, it's one of those films where I don't want anybody. Korey told me to see that bullshit. No, I didn't. I told you to stay the fuck out that film. You know, so that's
it's a full price. Don't go see it.
Yeah, it's a full price though. Don't go. It's a full price for me. You know, I can only tell you what I feel about it. It appealed to me. If you want to know what happened with all these things that I'm talking about, I'll tell it at the end of the show. But if you want to see the movie, I really implore you not to do it. I mean, because you need to watch it fresh, and then if you really don't get it, watch it, don't get it, and have somebody tell you. But I think people will understand more than I'm giving them credit for. I really do, because some people did get it. Some critics did see it. I was really frustrated reading those critics who were like, I like this, but I don't know what the fuck is happening. You know, you're the real pretentious motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, well, it made me feel something.
It's Aronofsky's name, so it must be good. Yeah, you could just see how he put so much of himself into. Shut up.
Yeah. All you saw was that fucking motherfucker. You saw him wearing that goddamn hipster scarf right there, like, oh shit, full price. I got you. No. Ian over there like, man.
Don't diss my God.
Don't mess with my man. My hipster God. Yeah, take that scarf and hang yourself, man. I'm kidding, man. Kidding.
It would be an honor.